0, 1.
Alright guys, Texas Gun Addiction here with a quick review of the Canik Prime Radian. Have the box upside down, but you guys can actually see that we do have some unobtainium in the building. So, quick story, when they released this, saw just like you guys, all the influencers came out with them on their channels, and Canik said that they were going to be releasing them soon, but who knew it was going to be in limited quantity, right? So, went to all the websites, went to Radian, went to Canik, tried to go anywhere that I could and searched all my local gun dealerships. No one had them in stock, man. If they did get them, they were gone instantly. And I'm hearing stories where LGSs were only getting one or two, and a lot of times it was only in one color. So I did want the gray one. Unfortunately, I didn't get that one. I was able to snag a black one, and I'll tell you what happened. So me and my wife were going to a gun show here in Texas, and man, they split the gun show in two different sections, and she was just like, "Oh, let's start all the way at the end of the building. We'll walk each aisle up and down, and then we'll be done." And I was like, "Hey, I'm just letting you know before we leave. There's a couple of items that I want, so if we see these." It's a must-have. Like, we're buying it right then and there. So we're walking up and down. I was talking to her about the Canik and about the release, and lo and behold, somebody had it on their table, man. And it was just like, all right, yeah, this is meant to be. I'm supposed to actually buy this one. But I did give the guy my license, and we still decided to walk the building really quick. We sped walk. We didn't hold it for too long, but we sped walk the entire venue. And no one else had them in stock, man. This was the only table that had them in stock. And when I say them in stock, he had this one only in stock. And it was in the wrong color, it was in black. And my wife was like, you should really just get what you want or wait. But she knows I'm impatient, and for that reason, I went ahead and bought it, even though there was a premium to this, which the guy did overcharge for it. But it was either that or wait, like you guys are continuing to wait for the gun. So with that said, let's get to the unboxing. I will tell you, for Canik's price point, man, this is one of the better boxes that I like. It's kind of like those Pelican boxes where you can put multiple weapons inside. I really love the durability of this, and if you want to travel with the gun inside the case, you can do that as well. But let's get to the unboxing and let's see what's inside it. Now, a lot of you guys have already seen this stuff. You do have the miniature Canik here, which will house your tools, screws, and extra pin for the weapon, which I really like. I have only one other Canik that's in my collection, and it also has that as well, so I think that's pretty cool with them. It doesn't have the placard inside like some of the other Caniks do, but doesn't really matter. How often do you look in that box? And it does come with two back straps. I do like the fact that they included the back straps. However, just in research and messing with the gun so far, I will tell you that if you switch to these back straps, instantly you lose that Radian back strap as well as the magwell. So these will not interact with the Canik Prime Radian magwell, and that is one downside. So you do get your manual and brochure information. Inside here, you get, of course, your weapon, and you get a holster. With the holster, I will say, like most people, Canik doesn't have the best holsters, but it's better than their previous models, and it gives you something straight out of the box that you can actually start carrying this around and get used to the weapon. Now, I am going to show you we are clear, nothing in it. But with that, you get two holsters. Here, let me set this up here so that you guys can continue exploring this with me. You get a 17 round holster as well as a reloader. You get a lock, and then of course on the second level in here you get an additional holster, some cleaning tools, as well as a small punch. So things that I really like about the Canik Radian is the overall design. A lot of the extra features that they send in the box. I do wish that they included more than the 2 magazines. If they did that, I think that it'd still be feature rich, right? You still get a lot of bang for your buck, but maybe you keep the holster, maybe you keep these 2 back straps that I don't think that anyone's gonna switch out, because half of buying this Prime Radian is strictly for the Radian parts, right? So we all know the Radian barrel and ramjet, and then of course this magwell as well as this back strap are features that would cost you extra if you were to put them on any other weapon, but you're buying it with this gun, so I don't see you taking that off. Just to go over the weapon really quick, it is ambidextrous, so you do have your slide release and slide lock on both sides. You do have some the undercut guard here, so that you can actually get high up into that trigger guard, as well as there is a lot of grip here up front on the sides. And then of course this Radian ramjet actually, or back strap, actually puts your hand really high up into the gun. If your hands are like mine, where you got like these bear paws, meat beaters, whatever, you're actually going to be able to get into the gun, get really high up on it, and get a good grip. You do have your memory sections for your index finger as well as your thumb over here, serrations up front for any of your press checks. The slide is actually cut here in the front, where they have Prime on the other Prime that is out. However, they did not put Radian or Prime in that top spot, so kind of begging to be ported. I know I've been thinking about it. I'm just going to say it that way. I don't know if I'm going to port it yet. And then if you look at the sights, these are night sights, so you do have the Trijicon Night Glow features. Center is green, front dot is orange, and then center is black and green back here. And then you have this massive ramjet on the front, just big nostrils, right? Lets the gun breathe. And then from what I see, it's actually meant to keep it flat. I'll be testing that out this weekend. Hopefully I'll get a good view of that, and you guys will get to see that as well. I'm gonna get this box out of the way so that we can go over a couple of the other features. So with that, you do have the Canik trigger, right? Everyone talks about the Canik trigger. I would be remiss if I didn't talk about it as well, but you have a large finger pad here for you to get all the way in there or just catch the edge. There is some take up and some grittiness. Just right in here is where I feel like some grit, and maybe that'll break in over time, but let's get a good trigger pull. So start, get to that wall, break. And then you reset, quick and fast, and break again. So really excited about actually getting this out to the range for you guys and being able to show you my shooting, and as well as give you my first thoughts. There won't be a 1,000 round review or anything like that. It'll probably be more like 500, just because I do have a couple of different guns I want to shoot. I haven't been to the range in a while, so this is on my list to check off for you guys. I did forget to mention some other features that Caniks have in their guns, as well as a loaded chamber indicator. This is optic ready. I did not see the Onyx optic at the gun show. However, I don't think that I would have bought it. And it's nothing against Canik. I just seen a couple of reviews. Don't know that I'm really sold on that optic yet. However, this is a RMSC footprint, so I'm probably going to go with the Holosun on it and put a light on it, because I do want to compare it to another gun. And that gun is my recent build that I haven't taken to the gun range yet, and that is the SIG P365 with the Icarus frame. Of course, it has the Radian ramjet on it, the SIG optic, and TLR7 HLX sub. So I'm probably going to put the same weapon light on this one and go with a different optic, but giving you a comparison, this is what the guns look like close together. So you would actually see that this is a little bit longer. The Prime is longer than the P365, as well as it's also thinner. So I think that it would make for a great concealed carry host. But also with this Icarus frame, I did get a holster for this one from QVO Tactical. So this is one that I've been looking forward to carrying, but now that I have both, I think that this is going to enter the rotation once I do 500 rounds, or maybe 1,000, and then add these to the rotation. So looking forward to that. Want to see which one actually comes out ahead as far as being able to control the recoil, staying on target, follow up shots. And then honestly, I am just looking forward to this. I keep staring at these. I don't know if you guys buy guns and you're like me, where you're just like walking around the house LARPing or whatever, or just, I let these sit out on my desk and I can just stare at them, man. I will tell you that the Radian Ramjet barrel that bronze just does something for me. I'm just gonna tell you. And this all black one, although it isn't the gray one that I wanted, man, I will still tell you that I love the way that this looks. If you could call a gun sexy, I will tell you that this gun is sexy. Both. So, can I pick one? Not yet, I can't. But would I tell you, would I recommend either one to you? In comparison, man, if you go over price point, right? So I did pay a little bit more for this one. I got taxed on it, but I was willing to pay the tax, so it's cool. This one, this build, it cost me way more. I'm just gonna say this build cost me way more than this did out of the box. So if you're asking the question like, hey, should you get the Canik Prime Radian? Absolutely. You would come out cheaper doing this than you would doing a build on the P365. However, I can't tell you that value-wise right now which one shoots better or which one you should actually probably go with. But I will say feature for feature coming out of the box with the backstrap, the mag well, the Radian Ramjet barrel, the trigger is nice, you don't have to upgrade. This is definitely well worth it. If you have the Prime already, a lot of people are gonna tell you, oh, if you have the Prime, you don't have to go with the Radian. I would tell you, if you have the money, man, go for it. You just add another gun to the collection, and by all means, we can't take it with us. So if you can afford to spend the money, definitely get one, add one to the collection, or sell your other one and then get this one. If you're kind of watching your panties and you want to watch how much you spend, I would probably say if this is what you want and you've watched enough videos, you've done enough research, and you feel comfortable with that purchase, by all means, go for it. Now, would I say pay the extra tax or pay the fees that you've kind of seen on some of these websites? That is up to you. Depends on how bad you want it. I will tell you that I've bought some things on sale in my life, and I've bought some things at high prices, and you always don't get a great deal, but you do get great value as far as sometimes things work out, and the memories you get behind them, man. It just makes a cool story. So I can be able to tell you guys about the one time that I got fleeced at a gun show and ended up getting something way before Prime Radian Canik is actually able to fulfill orders. So that is probably besides the holster and the back straps that I was telling you about, that's probably the one downside that I would say where Canik dropped the ball is, man, you built up marketing. Marketing's great, right? Everyone wants the gun and is looking forward to it. But I will say that you're missing the ball, or you dropped the ball when it came time to actually fulfill orders. There's a lot of people out here really want these guns, and of course influencers and everyone got them, which hyped it up even more, but you don't know how long that dies down or who's releasing the next product, and the money that you had earmarked for this may go to something else just because the orders weren't fulfilled in time. Or who knows, man, maybe the marketing did a great job, and with the scarcity of it, it's going to create even more want and need for the actual gun. So maybe people are going to buy these, and it's going to sell just like your regular primes did, which I believe was the 2025 top seller of last year. So I have no qualms or thoughts to think that this won't do the same. Just overall looks, feel, like I said, this is only my second Canik, and I'm happy, man. I love the way that this feels. And self-admittedly, I am a Glock fanboy. I know the triggers aren't the best, but I do have a Johnny Glock on my everyday carry, as well as the 43. I have basically the OEM trigger. However, after several testing and things like that, I will tell you that this trigger is nice, except for that grip. Not gonna be lie to you, that little bit of grit back there. I don't know if you could hear it. Let me put it up by the microphone. And no, I'm not flagging myself. It pointed away from me. Just a little bit gritty to me in comparison to not the best trigger, right? But smooth. If you look at that, take up, smooth, break, and get back in business. So that is all, man. I like to tell you guys, if you don't watch me, watch out.